Welcome back, everybody. Today I want to focus on the cannabis sector. This is one of my favorite sectors to follow just because there's a lot of stuff in the horizon that could help this industry run. And now we're just kind of waiting and watching to see everything play out because we know rescheduling is around the corner. We know the frameworks are being worked on right now. And the main objective with this video is to show you the top companies that I believe are going to benefit the most from this cannabis rush. How is the best way to position yourself for this? And I obviously have one biased pick on which I think is going to be the best of them all. Those of you who have been following my channel know that I love MSOS, but I've never really talked about what companies are in MSOS, what even is MSOS. This is a pure US cannabis ETF. MSOS is multi-state operators. And with that, we have 5 massive holdings. And these are the top 5 dogs that everybody should be looking at. And so the reason why these 5 companies are so important to not only MSOS, but the cannabis sector as a whole, in this euphoric state, in an area that we don't know what's going to happen. We know that reclassification is around the corner, and before these companies have to prove themselves, if there is some sort of legislative structure that benefits these companies, which rescheduling will do, automatically all these companies will benefit. And if these companies benefit, MSOS will also benefit. And so to get your exposure, I personally went with MSOS because I'm covered on all bases, meaning if any one of these companies go up, it will benefit my holding in MSOS. And I want to show you how it doesn't really matter right now which one of these companies you pick, because in the long term, a lot of these ones probably won't be successful. That's the truth of the matter. Cannabis is not the most profitable industry. Once the rules and the legislation comes out, there's going to be so many more operators that are going to try to jump into the industry, capitalize on the tax deductions, etc., etc. And so I know in the long run, these aren't investments to buy and hold, but when it comes to that short-term euphoria that we are about to get, these companies are all the ones that are going to fuel the run. And so I'm going to individually go through each one of those on our stock charts. So right now we're looking at Curaleaf on the daily. There is a similar pattern with all of these cannabis stocks, which is why I believe it doesn't matter which one you buy. Ultimately, if you want to have a bundle of all of them, just buy MSOS. But having MSOS and then individually picking these, it really doesn't make a difference because all of the boats are going to float at the same time. So chances are it's not going to be one or the other. They're all going to go up or they're all going to go down. And so I think the best way to capitalize on that is to hold MSOS. But for those of you who are actually holding the individual holdings, you can clearly see we're setting higher lows. We had our run up, then we consolidated, then we ran up, we consolidated. Our red line has been just consistently going up. Our SMAs are close together. We have our price action above all of our SMAs, and it looks like we are starting to get that next leg up. And so now let's go to Green Thumb Industries. Very similar looking chart. This one has had a longer consolidation period. You can see we had a massive fall off from here, but then our SMAs all got close together and we are currently bundled up, coiled, ready for a big move. And today you could see we broke to the upside. And right now, when you have your SMAs this tight, there is going to be an immediate reaction, and this might be the beginning of it, and this could lead us to gains in the short term. If you look at Verano, very similar here to Green Thumb Industries. SMAs here are very tightly together, and today we got our price action to break above. And so again, when the setup is like this, everything is coiled, we are ready for a short-term move. And now lastly, if you look at TRLV, this was the stock that got the mainstream attention. It got added to the New York Stock Exchange. So this stock initially popped because of that. However, it's given back most of its gain. But similarly to the rest of the stocks, our SMAs are all lined up, close together, prices above. We are ready to rock and roll. And so there's one stock in the cannabis sector that's not part of MSOS that I believe is going to be the biggest winner out of all of them in the long term. It might not be the flashiest one. It might not have the crazy volatile swings like these other ones, but this is not going to be a pump and dump. This stock has already established itself as one of Canada's most premier retail cannabis plays. It has majority of the market share relative to its competitors. It has bought into Germany and already starting to control market share over there. This company is High Tide, and High Tide, if we look at its chart, it is not similar to the other ones. You can see how our red SMA, which is our 200, is our top line. We aren't above all of them. So what you're seeing here is more of a neglected stock. This is a Canadian company, so people are not paying attention to this because, again, this is not a multi-state operator. It's a Canadian company. Once the American markets open up, they already have a huge backing, a huge credit backing that they will be able to expand very quickly in America, whereas these other companies will have to learn their footing, figure out what works, whereas Cabana, HITI, they've already figured out their model. Their model has been consistently getting better, growing in numbers. And so when we look at the price action, we have been slowly starting to climb back up. And ideally, we want ourselves to get back into this upward channel because we have been trading within these lines for about 4 years. And so ideally right now, the goal is to get back into this space. Once we get back into this space, this should be a slow and steady climb to the top. This is one of those companies that is extremely cheap. This company to me is better than all the multi-state operators I have just mentioned. Obviously, stock price wise, the other ones might run more, but if you're looking for a more stable investment versus a trade, High Tide is the better option. There is a ticker on the American NASDAQ as well. So this company is the one that you guys should probably keep your eyes on the most. All the mainstream 5, just buy MSOS instead of picking which one you think is going to do the best. They're all going to go up together. They're all going to go down together. So there's no reason to nitpick. I genuinely think the best of them all is High Tide. And so this is a quick little video just going over these stocks, going over this industry. And I think this industry is starting to heat up, and I'm very excited to see where this goes in the fall. And so that's all I got for you guys. I will see you guys in the next video.